Professor Schmidhuber, you participated in the second meeting of the Humboldt Forum for Food and Agriculture in Berlin in January 2010. What were the main points you shared with this forum when it comes to the future challenges of agriculture and water?
Let me start with the facts. Water is incredibly important for food security. Despite the fact that only 20% of our acreage is irrigated, on these 20% of the acreage we produce 40% of our food and actually 60% of our cereals. Agriculture is also the biggest user of water. Agriculture uses about 70% of total water. Unfortunately, much of the water use is not particularly efficient. Agriculture is not only the biggest water user, it's also the biggest water waster. But that is not necessarily reason for resignation. Actually, we identified a whole range of policy solutions that will lend themselves towards fixing that problem in the long run. These policy solutions essentially start where the problems are. And the problems are not necessarily physical water availability rather than access to water. So our policy recommendations include, for instance, best practices, extension, further research, further R&D, better water pricing, lower water use, higher water use efficiency, and so on and so forth.
Professor Schmidhuber, the public is concerned about the question of future water availability. Is this a proper perception?
Yes and no. Future water availability or water scarcity will tend to increase. That's for the very simple reason we have more people living on the earth, from currently nearly 7 billion to 9 billion by 2050, and at the same time water is a finite resource. That means, other things equal, the pressure on water requirements will actually increase. The good news is it will not be a continuation of past trends. For the simple reason, water, particularly blue water or irrigation water, is predominantly used in Asia, and it's predominantly used for rice production. And rice production will not increase as much as other food consumption will increase. That means, other things equal, we will only see a 20% increase in irrigation areas, and we will only see about a 13% increase in water requirements. The bad news is, if we don't do anything about it, even that small incremental pressure will cause further problems for food security, further problems for hunger. The good news again is we can do something about it. It is not a problem that we have to yield to, rather it is a problem we can tackle, and we can tackle with rather simple means. So, to use a very fashionable slogan, yes we can.
Thanks a lot, Professor Schmidhuber.
Thank you.